We acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land, where the Aboriginal people have performed age-old ceremonies of storytelling, music, dance and celebration. We acknowledge and pay respect to our elders, past, present, and to those of the future, for they hold the memories, traditions and hopes of Aboriginal Australia. We must always remember that under the concrete and asphalt, this land is, was, and always will be traditional Aboriginal land.
Hi folks, welcome back to term 2, and we're looking forward to us getting back to being Warilla High School all together, but not quite at the moment. So I'm sure that you're all over what's happening in the media, and for the next 2 weeks we're asking students to stay at home. Obviously essential services students, parents can send their students, but we're saying learning from home is the best place to be. After week 3, we'll be inviting students back, and we'll give you more information about that as it becomes definite, but it'll be 1 day a week for all students, and the exception to that is Year 12, and we're asking them to come back and to re-engage with their HSC studies as soon and as often as possible. So while there's been a break, you would think that school was quiet, but it's been the exact opposite. We've taken this opportunity to do quite a few upgrades around the school, and at the end of last term, we were lucky enough to have received a $20,000 grant awarded to us by Anna Watson, member for Shellharbour, as part of the community building relationship, and we thank the P&C for applying for this. The grant has allowed Warilla High School to purchase and install cold water stations in every block of the school. These stations have been important in reducing the amount of single-use bottles in our school, while also encouraging students to drink more water. So a great achievement. Some other things that have happened: we've had an awning installed outside the back of the A block, and new seating is coming as well. That'll provide additional shade and shelter for our students. The kiln room has been moved, and it's now double the size, and it's down in the Kappa area. The metals room, B13, has had a complete upgrade and is a work of art. And finally, B11 has been upgraded, and it's now going to become a senior TAS study area. So they're just some of the things that have happened around the school, and we'll be pleased to let the students have the chance to see some of this when they return. But as I said initially, it's slowly, this week and next week, and then week 3 we'll start seeing everyone 1 day a week. Otherwise, there's some other people that have got really important messages they want to share with you. So over to them. Bye.
Hello school, my name is Mr. Harry, and my task today is to explain the structure for remote learning at Warilla High School for Term 2. Over this, you may notice that this structure is slightly different to that used at the end of Term 1. Over the holidays, we have taken our time to fine-tune our approach to delivering online remote learning, and we hope this is more efficient and effective for both students and parents moving forward. For each school week, from week 1, teachers will move to distributing work on a weekly basis to their classes. Each student will then be free to work at their own pace on that week's learning activities, with the aim for them to be completed by the week's end. Teachers will check in with their students periodically throughout the week. This could be done via email, phone call, Google Classroom, or Zoom class. If a teacher has concerns, they will prompt the student via email first. The teacher will offer support to that student. If that student does not reply to their teacher, contact may then be made to the guardian to check in. Based on the latest advice from the Department of Education, our school days will look different to Term 1. For Stage 4, that is Year 7 and 8, it is expected that no more than 3.5 hours of screen time is undertaken for school in one day. This screen time should be made up of 30 to 40 minutes of both English and mathematics, with the remaining 90 to 120 minutes of other KLAs such as HSIE, Science, Kappa, LOTE, PDHPE, and TAS. Advice for Stage 5, that is Year 9 and 10, is similar to Stage 4, with no more than 3.5 hours of screen time expected throughout the day. This screen time is made up of 30 to 45 minutes of both English and Math, with the remaining 90 to 120 minutes of other KLAs such as HSIE, Science, PDHPE, and the students' electives. Advice for Stage 6 is different to that for Stage 4 and 5. The students in Year 11 and 12 should follow their usual pattern of study that is found on their timetable. It is important to remember to take regular breaks in between these learning activities, and that sport and well-being are also important routines to maintain. The New South Wales Government will stagger the return to school from week 3 of this term. Students will be able to return to school regularly, 1 day a week, in a structure designed by the school. Even with the return to school, teachers will continue to distribute work on a weekly basis to their classes. Each student should still work at their own pace on that week's learning activities, with the aim for those activities to be completed by the week's end. A student's on-campus day should be used as a check-in to ask any questions or seek clarification on their learning activities assigned by their teacher. Warilla High School will make all effort for their on-campus days to be as normal as possible. If a teacher has concerns about a student's progress, they will first speak to the student in person or email if physical interaction is not possible. The teacher will first offer support to that student. With students returning to school, we request that all possible effort is made for students to bring their own device to school. And even with the return to school, teaching and learning will still be delivered and organised digitally until the situation allows for a more consistent physical approach to education. Lastly, we thank our school community for your patience and understanding over the coming days as we take on board your feedback around what the best return to school plan will look like for our community. Warilla High School will publish information about on-campus days once decisions and plans have been finalised.
Hi everyone. It's a difficult time at the moment and you might be feeling disconnected from your normal everyday life. You might be feeling down, missing your friends, struggling with your schoolwork or just not feeling right. Remember, we're always here to support you. Make sure you check out our Warilla High Wellbeing Hub Facebook page. You can find lots of good information, uplifting messages and support in our community. If you need, you can also make an appointment to speak to Jewel, our student support officer, or you can find out how to make an appointment with a school counsellor. Your year advisors are also available to support you through your Google Classrooms. There are many ways you can get help if you need it. Just remember, all you need to do is reach out. Take care of yourself, everyone, and we hope to see you soon.